Hey there, Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising. Welcome to your Success Series reading. I am recording this on February 6th in the energy of that full moon that we just had in Leo. I'm going to pull all of the cards because, as per usual, right after a full moon, there's a day or two where the energy kind of drops. Wow. Really can't wait to get into your reading. You have here the card of Algiers. Um, there is this snake here of transformation, but it really carries this energy around it of the elk, of being very intuitive, of protecting yourself, also knowing that you are protected, trusting your instincts and your intuition. Really allowing yourself to not be afraid of the creatures of the night, the things that haunt us in our subconscious, they're saying, and in the dream space. So that full moon happening as it did this week in a fellow fire sign was very helpful because it was trining almost right exactly where Chiron is in your sign, and that becomes important because Chiron is about healing the inner child, and even though this is about success, a lot of times success being financial or career-wise, which is what I intend these for, a lot of times our success in those areas comes down to our ability to feel successful and abundant in all areas of our life. And so you have here some major changes about to take place, but it begins with you taking some very positive action steps to protect yourself. I want to say if you are receiving an idea that if you don't trust something that somebody is doing, or someone asks you to borrow money, or some kind of a loan situation comes up, or I also want to say protect your property. So this protective energy here really encourages you to protect what you already have, to count your blessings and honor and respect it. But there is definitely a need for you to be aware, of what is going on around you. So keep really close track of what's going on. You are in a period of growth. You are. That is why it's important to protect where you're at from others undermining you, taking your ideas, protect the knowledge and the wisdom that you have. You have the tree of growth, though, for your overall energy. So some area of success is coming into you. I'm really curious about these cards because you have here, who am I ready to forgive and what do I resist feeling right now? And so I think you're resisting forgiveness, and it could be of yourself or others. When we have the inner child thing going on, it's always easiest to let me put that another way. When we forgive ourselves for being human, it becomes easier to forgive other people for the crap that they pull because they're also human. So this forgiveness, sometimes somebody's already passed something that happened in our childhood. Maybe you made a financial decision or a career change move or something, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that was a bad move, and you regret having made that choice or decision, and it left you questioning your ability to make good choices moving forward. That feels very strong, like the message coming in. So even though the wounded child is there, I do think that sometimes we think when we make a mistake, we go back to when we got in trouble for making mistakes when we were kids, and so then we have a hard time forgiving ourselves here as adults when we find out we're human and we actually make mistakes. We make choices and decisions that we think there was probably a better one. And there may have been a better one, but it didn't matter. You learned something along the way. So what you're being asked to learn right now is to trust your intuition and to forgive yourself for any detours that you took on your career financial path, and to focus instead on what you can do in the moment. Because when we have the Blue Jay is very much he is bossy. You ever seen them at the bird feeder? I mean, they're freaking bossy. They boss it up, but they're kind of aggressive, right? They're very aggressive. So it could be, where have you been like very aggressive in an investment or in a career move or something, and you think, oh, I should have done that. And I really think that it's important to allow yourself to move away from that energy, to get to the point where, like, okay, that wasn't a really great move, and now it's time to make another move. Okay, so I'm looking at this. You have an employment change coming up here. And so you have the card of no more complaining and an employment change. So if you don't like where you are and you think this wasn't a great idea, okay, so but that's where you are right now. So it could be that you are in school and you're in a course of study and you're like, I have decided after 6 years of study that I do not wish to be a doctor. I want to sell real estate. Well, then do that. Right? Because right now there's energy around changing and shifting and walking away from structures and pressures that have been placed on us in the old energy, and we're moving into new energy. So what is calling you right now? What is calling to you right now? So your career path is leading you in a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, and passion and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help you release the old and welcome the new. You are being supported every step of the way. And you have the card of no more complaining. So, take back your power. Don't say, I hate this job. Say, I find the job that supports my dreams and my goals, where I feel empowered, or whatever it is you're looking for. Affirmations, a good affirmation says, I am. That's the key that unlocks the affirmation. I am. So it's in the present tense. And I see the opportunities for growth and change. I see the opportunities and I step through the doors, and they're positive. You don't use negative words when you're doing an affirmation. You don't say, I am getting out of debt. First off, that's not in the current. It's also got the word debt in it. I am financially secure. It's a good affirmation. I see and recognize and know how to best use financial opportunities that are presented to me. You find ways to do it like that. Okay, so I feel like an affirmation is really important, because here you're supposed to be really focused on the goal. That's the key to the situation for this growth. And you transform the situation by finding the joy and the happiness again and counting your blessings. And a lot of times what increases our actual flow of abundance is when we recognize that we are already abundant. And the best way to do that is to look around and see what you already have that is really great. And you can be abundant in friends. You can be abundant in love. You can be abundant in, you have a collection. Maybe you collect, they're showing me snow globes. Okay, so you have an abundance of those. And so you have an abundance of joy that comes from that. And when you start counting your blessings, then you start drawing and attracting it in from all corners and all avenues. You have the King of Summer here, which is about an excellent advice that comes from the heart and getting involved in a creative idea. And here in the heart space, you have an option. Okay, you're at the path. And you can choose to take the one that's down to the relaxing beach day, or you can choose to challenge yourself and take the one that climbs the mountain. Neither is wrong. What lights you up? What gets you excited? Follow your intuition. There's a need here for you to start considering, what action do I need to take energetically? And I think part of this is definitely around your thought process. The trusting your intuition to know what the next action is to take. And so when you see options open up before you, and so maybe you're not really satisfied where you're working, and you see a job listing come up it's a lateral move, so it's not an increase in pay, but it's an increase in something that interests you and brings you joy, go ahead and apply for it. And it may be that you show up at the interview there and they're like, I think you would be a good fit for this. But there's this other thing that we didn't list yet that's coming up where I think your skills will really be useful, and there's a pay bump with that. And you're like, wow, okay, yeah, sign me up, right? Because it's something new and challenging, which is what you were looking for, but it also has the increase in pay. But it is about it's truly about your attitude is going to define your altitude. Like the more you lift yourself up inside of you about being very positive and outgoing about what's happening, the better it's going to be. Because here you've definitely been thinking about the abundance, and you've been allowing what feels like these blocks and stops of the past to make you feel like nothing's happening. Like you were heading in some direction, you made some choice or decision, and you ran smack into this mountain wall, right? But a stop like that, a block like that, it's just, rejection is redirection. That wasn't the right way to go. And so they're saying there's a better option, a better opportunity. And it is your confidence that is somehow blocking this. Your lack of trusting in your own intuition. Cats are very intuitive. Your sense of confidence has been shaken a little. The action to take is a mystery. It's a book, but the book's closed. I find that super interesting. It's like you got to trust your intuition to choose. Anchor into getting into the details of it. News or information is coming in. I think you get an offer that you don't see coming for some reason that allows you to make this change, but it comes through you attracting it into your life through your sense of empowerment, of positive attitude. So you are being encouraged to squirrel away your savings. So don't spend every dollar you get in. Some of them need to go into savings, okay? So it's interesting because you also have the luxury gift, okay? So not a big purchase because you have protect the petals. Careful, now is not the best time for big purchases or big money decisions, okay? Now is not the time. I feel like the opportunity is coming in. It's just not here yet. It's on the horizon. This could be about you taking the time to sit down and update your resume. Sit down and decide what skills you have. What are you looking for? What are your goals? Start doing some quiet job hunting. Unless there's something within your company, the opportunity within your company, then yes, you need to speak up. But if you're looking outside of your company, I think keeping it quiet, but sending out those cover letters, sending out your resume would be really a good thing at this point in time. So when you get the squirrel your savings and the luxury gift and the protect your petals, okay, this says don't block the flow of abundance by not spending any money, okay? No big purchases, nothing that's really big and extravagant. Now is not that time. But what it is time for is to remember that you are abundant and there's always enough and there's more on the way. And so the luxury gift is when you buy something small. So you don't say to yourself, gosh, I really, would like that little coffee there. I haven't had one in a while, but I'm watching my pennies. Maybe once in a while you splurge on that fancy coffee, or you. So the coffee is not like dinner out with the movies, and you get home and you realize you spent like $300 for two people to have an evening out when you could have small luxury. Went ahead and splurged on that movie you guys have been wanting to see, but sit at home with Netflix and maybe ordering a pizza, right? And so it's spending a little, not spending a lot, but something that makes you feel, like there's more than enough. I have enough to do that. I have enough, and being consistent with putting money into savings. It's doing both. And so a good budget right now. And this could also be a really good, clear accounting of where your money is and how you're spending it. There is an opportunity getting ready to come to you. You're going to need to use your intuition to help you decide. But I think you're feeling doubtful of your own ability because of some choice that was made that has you doubting your ability to make good decisions, and you're being asked to trust your intuition. So one way to do this is to use the affirmations and then trust the information that comes in and really check in the heart space. Does this feel like joy? If it feels like joy, okay, right? You've done all the work. So really interesting. You have some kind of a change coming up, but it's an opportunity for growth. So Aries, I hope you found that helpful. I will link the video for this week up here, and I will put the full moon video in the description box below. If you have not checked out either one of those, they were both very interesting, and I think you might find them helpful also. You guys take great care, and I'll talk to you soon.